Alrighty, we're back. Okay. Chicken Joe and Martita. We're talking about this. So I've gotten more questions. And here's what I want to say. They've been all about partnerships, and I love it. I love the fact that like moms are actually asking me, like, yo, are you sure like we can make money online? Yes, you can. And here's the sad part though, that actually makes me sad is that like a lot of moms are like, hey, I'm in my 40s. I do want to try to make online income, but I'm scared to post because my friends and family are going to judge me. I'm going to tell you right now, because I know a lot of moms feel this way and they tell me, how do you get over that? Don't care. Learn to be proud of your journey. Like, it's crazy how we think that wanting extra income or wanting to stay home, work from home, and be with our kids, we think that's bad. And we have to like stop and think, where does that even come from? Because it honestly comes from our upbringing. Who made us feel that staying home, working from home was not valuable or it wasn't as important as leaving, right? So, excuse me. Alrighty, so let me talk to you about partnerships because a lot of people have said, well, I'm not into the fitness, world like you are. So it's not just about fitness products. It is about any products that we are looking for. So many of us, and I'll give you myself for example, this weekend I went to Marshalls and Ross and all these stores and they have cleaning household products. They're a lot better and friendlier than your typical Clorox, bleach, all those things. And I'm allergic to those cleaning products that have a lot of chemicals. So you know what? Like those chemicals that we buy, okay, those products at Home Goods or any of those stores, like I said, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, there are companies that are already selling those products, except they're not paying us. So here we're going into these stores, we're buying them. And then we're like, oh my gosh, look, I love this. We're over there recommending it. We're not even getting cut a check. And a lot of people think like, oh, well, it's because it's too complicated. I'm not an influencer. You don't even have to be an influencer. You don't even have to post yourself. You can be an introvert. Okay. You can be an introvert mom staying home, homeschooling your kids. Okay. And partnering with companies that have, whether it's household cleaning products, whether it's a travel partnership, whether it's for menopause. How many of us are going through menopause? Right here. Woo, woo, woo. If you ask me, I feel like I've been going through menopause since the age of 30. Was it 33, 32? When did they take my uterus out? They like ripped it out. No, they didn't rip it out. But that caused me to pretty much go into what now everybody calls perimenopause. Back in my days, that was called menopause. They were just like, sorry, you're going through menopause. So I had to be on HRT. If you don't know what HRT is, it's hormone replacement therapy. And that is to regulate our hormones so that we don't go through menopause. Um, I didn't want to be on that. After 8 years of being on it, I was on it 8 years, and I finally told my doctor, we're not doing this anymore. We need to find natural ways. So I started doing research. And guess what? Once I got off the shots, I hit menopause hard. Not only did I hit it hard, but I was running 3 businesses, traveling a lot, was no longer on my shots, working out like crazy, also losing weight, and I hit depression on top of that. That was kind of shitty. I had to pretty much tell my kids, like, hey, your mom's going through a lot of shit right now. And it was hard, but it wasn't impossible. It was liberating to let your kids know. That being said, I started actually studying products that were going to help with depression, that were going to help with my mental health. Because if you don't know, depression, menopause, that all affects your mental health. It really does. Because your body is changing. It's kind of like, what the heck? We're all out of whack. So I ended up finding products that were good, that fit what I was going through. And I tried them. As any smart woman, we invest in ourselves. That being said, I was like, dang, these are actually working for me. Why would I not share these? Why would I not tell other moms about them? And so if you look back on a lot of my content, what was it, a couple years ago, like I always share anything I use, I eat or do. If I love it, I'm going to share it because I'm not going to gatekeep, especially when it comes to partnerships. Anywho, So I know a lot of moms are like, well, that's like affiliate marketing. No, it's not. Here's the thing, affiliate marketing pays you less. So I also do affiliate marketing. But with affiliate marketing, you really can't set certain systems in place. You can't set automations, okay, and all these responses. When I say automations, I mean responses and actually getting to people. A lot of people think like, dang, well, we only have to be online and be salesy, and you don't. You don't. Just like a lot of us think, like just because we have to show up to work, you have to do the same thing up here. You don't. And that is the beauty of it, and which is why I push it. Because after seeing how much of my time I've sacrificed, because if you don't know, like I came from law enforcement, I did 18 years in law enforcement. Then COVID happened, lost my job. And you know what? It was the biggest blessing in disguise because it actually pushed me to do something different. And you know what I did? I went out there, I flipped homes. Craziest shit ever. I flipped homes. I increased a rental portfolio. I got into short-term, long-term rentals, and it was just and midterm rentals, and it was freaking bizarre. But it was necessary. And you know what? I pushed myself to see what I could do. But during that time, honestly, it turned out to be a lot. Like, I had so many projects going at once. It got to the point where I actually had to leave my kids for 8 months, and I took them to Ohio, but then they had to come back after some time. And they actually got to see me struggle, like what it was to flip these homes, to go get the materials, all these things. And I saw a lot of moms who like reach out to me. They're like, dang, you're doing good. All these things you're doing. I always share everything I'm doing. So if I do loan signing, if I do partnerships, if I do affiliate marketing, anything like that, I share it with people. Why? Because knowledge is power, right? So being away from my kids 8 months and missing out on so much. I mean, my kids went through a lot of shit during that time and they didn't have me. That was the worst time ever. And during that time, I was also living in another state, sleeping on an Aero mattress bed. And I was like, how else am I going to make an income? I was already using these products that I loved, right? And I was like, dang, why would I not look into systems that are going to put these things in place? Like, I'm a 43-year-old mom. If you're expecting me to be techie, that is not going to happen. Okay. But with these systems and partnerships, I was just like, dang, this is amazing. Like, why would I not jump into this? I could be home and doing this. Like, I was talking to other moms because, of course, like, you don't just jump into something like the first time. You want to ask other people, hey, how's this working out for you? How do you like it? How much money have you made? That's the kind of questions we should be asking because those are our references. And that's what I was asking. And as I saw these moms with children with ADHD, autism, any health disability, and a lot of them are nurses, staying home and taking care of their kids, I said, nah, this working away from my kids thing it's not life because you can't make up for that time. And it's not even worth it, to go back and try to make up for it. Or so that's one of the main reasons because I'm like, there's got to be a simpler way. I want to spend more time with my kids. And that was it. And I know like a lot of moms, they know I started off as a single mom, as a teen mom, pregnant at 16. They always ask me, like, what's the easiest, low cost way to make money? And if I'm completely honest, this is it. And I know a lot of us are like, no, things like that are too good to be true, or I'm too old to learn them. We're not. Okay. It is possible to get out of our ways, just like if we were forced to look for a new employer and have to learn new skills, we would do it. And we're always willing to say, like, oh, I'm trainable, I'll work harder. That's the thing, though. We don't have to do that anymore. We don't. Like, remember back in the day, like when they had Word, Excel, Adobe, all these things, and they had teachers who taught those things. There's actually people out there who do the same thing. They teach you all these programs on how to generate income, on how to monetize, on how your reels, listen to this, okay? Your reels can generate you money. Some people can make 200 bucks, some will make 2000 bucks. It just depends on your reels. And it's not about the views. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, you got to go viral. That's not even it. Alrighty. Some social medias do pay, but that's not even how they do it. Anywho, um, but you have to know how to structure them. So that being said, when you put those automations in place, they're there to help you. They're there to make your life easier, and they're just there to play and tweak here and there. And they're generating you income. You're able to actually enjoy your life, and you look forward to waking up and saying, dang, this is what life is about. So this is day 14 of 30. It's probably like day 20 of 30. Alrighty. But I'm just giving you guys information as far as why partnerships are so beneficial. They're so easy for moms. And hey, if you're a mom in your 40s, you're overcomplicating it or saying, hey, I don't know where to start. It's too good to be true. It is not. But the first step has to start with you, and your struggle has to be harder than your change. Does that make sense? Like you have to want something better more than you do your current struggle. And until you get that, like it's going to be hard to overcome that. Anywho, if you're not following, be sure to follow, subscribe, and we're going to keep just sharing, alrighty, the knowledge and just all this information we got, because why would we gatekeep? There's no need to gatekeep. Alrighty, I've told you guys there's one gal, she's a nutritionist. She is killing it right now in the partnership business, making $2,000 a day. Like and I've showed you guys her stats. Like she's awesome. And it's all because she has these systems in place. And we're just like, we don't know about that stuff. You're right. So there's people like myself who we teach people how to do these things because everybody deserves to be with their family. Alrighty, I've already spent enough time on this. I love this little talk. Chicken Joe, you out? Chicken Joe's out. I'm out too.